Okay, well, good. So maybe to kind of start off this conversation, I want to ask Traveler, maybe to kind of introduce yourself, what you do, how you got in the space, just kind of a light introduction to this short podcast.
Yeah. Hi, everyone, and thank you for the invitation. My name is Traveler Meta on all social media, but basically, I have been in the immersive space since over a decade, and build apps to watch events in virtual reality. And I've been interested by the NFT space since almost 2 years now, and started to look on Twitter what was going on, learn more about those profile picture collections, learn more about digital wearables, and made my way on creating content around my virtual identity by getting a clonix from Artifact, and also creating a studio called Relic, where we help digital wearable brand to launch their NFTs through the infrastructure, design websites, augmented reality lenses, and I have been involved with Cultivate, a digital wearable brand who built the helmet that's currently on my profile picture. Basically wanted to spread knowledges around VR, AR, virtual influencers, virtual identity, the Metaverse and Web3. So I'm creating those videos that you might have seen pop up on your feed.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, this is why I reached out to you. I really liked your content. I think you have a very unique channel, social media presence. I think you really stand out. So we've also been in the NFT space. Did you hop into any other projects afar from Clonex?
Actually, before getting a clonix, typically I get on the big NFTs, because obviously I'm sure, like you, we end up getting quite a few things, but a notable one is Miyazuki. And I was actually starting to create content with it, but it was not through videos, more animation or photo, where I was adding my 2D profile image. But what was really interesting with the clonix is definitely having access to the 3D files. What else? There is a bunch of collections that I am super interested, but kind of out of budget, like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? I'm trying to think about other collection. I need to open my wallet to check what else that are really notable. But would love to actually get a Dead Fellas. Would love to get a Doodle. Those ones are actually great ones to create content as well, because they are getting like an augmented reality feature very soon. So it's gonna be exciting to see people creating content with their avatar.
Very exciting. Yeah. That's awesome to hear. I feel like still Clonex is like the closest. They're trying the most to kind of fuel this creator economy. They've, as you've said, they're providing 3D files. They're really trying to get all the clone access to create content, from type of content that you're creating to like just to renders and manual content. I think it's pretty awesome to see that, especially for us that we're in the space, and for other people as well. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have a really good structure as well. Like we had the chance to tinker with some of these as well, and it's incredible, like the amount of organization that these people went through to organize the structures, and you can see that they actually really meant to make it as interactable as possible, because that was like one of the main, I would say, gripes in the beginning of the NFT movement, with this, like, how do you interact with the actual art, and how do you interact with the brand, with the thing that it's being promoted. So, but dude, is there like Traveler, is there anything in particular that because you mentioned like VR and AR, so would you say that is a element that it's, let's say, the priority when you're checking for like other collections or other things, or virtual influencers and stuff like that?
Yeah, if I look also at what people are really interested in the space, there is probably 98% of people who are more interested by the investment and not specifically creating content around their NFTs. But in the clonics community, we have actually a decent amount of creators, right? Few hundreds of them. And when I personally buy NFTs, now that I am creating content with my avatar, it kind of unlock like this part of my brain where I am, oh yes, I am way more interested about getting 3D wearables, 3D shoes, stuff that I wouldn't have imagined myself getting even 2 years ago, right? But when you start to play with your identity, when you start to play with those AR lenses, then you realize, oh, I need this, I need like wings, I need a jetpack, I need a helmet, I need all those cool stuff to be able to play with and create more content and test. And it's similar ways that what influencers online are doing when they buy new garments, they want to show new things, new styles. And in our case, beyond the style, it can have specific utilities within metaverses or even within tools that you want to use to create content.
Is there like a specific program that you use when you say about VR, AR? Because you clearly need some type of knowledge in order to apply these characters, right?
So it depends on the collections, but for example, the Clonix provided a generic version of a Lens Studio file. Lens Studio is a software created by Snapchat to create filters. And basically, they also created like tutorials to explain how you can apply the specific traits of your clone on top of the generic one, which is about an hour or 2 hours of work. Actually, I remember when they released the 3D file back in July, like 2 hours later, I was set up with my lens and they retweeted me. So at that time, that's like probably still the biggest view I had on any videos. It was like 40K on Twitter, which was pretty good for me because those guys retweeted my lens, and it was like the first time people saw someone really using it. And some things that people seems to not know or not leverage is that you can connect a DSLR or mirrorless camera to Lens Studio to have even higher quality. So typically me, I have a Sony camera connected to my lens, which make everything much crisper and with a better field of view, I would say. And just angle in general than a webcam that is going to be more deformed. The webcam try to be super wide. And if you can zoom a little bit, you are just going to look sharper, and the lens is going to not be deformed the same way than when you use a webcam. So there is Lens Studio, but there is a bunch of others that can be used. The only issue that we are facing with Lens Studio is that on the 25th of January, Snap decided to turn off Snap Camera, and Snap Camera is basically a software that allow you to use any filter of Snapchat or created through Lens Studio as a virtual camera. So we see a bit less clone right now using their lens on Zoom calls and Google Meet and stuff like that. So right now, actually, I have my setup. I figure it out like an alternative. But basically it consists in having one computer that has a preview window of Lens Studio that streams through OBS, like it's a whole setup. Yeah.
It's a whole workaround. Yeah. And like we also worked with the Lens suite, and it's really too bad they took away that feature because it actually makes things a bit more difficult to work around. But so. Okay, AR filters, VR filters. So, what, like, ideally, where do you see this going? Because there's always this thing of like, okay, it's a filter. You talk through it, fine. You substitute your personality with it, but where do you think, in practicality, this is leading to? Where is this, like, let's say, 5 years with tech and everything, what do you think would be applicable with your, let's say, CloneX or whichever collection has 3D files and stuff?
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest thing to figure it out right now is allowing people to create content easily, and also this notion of interoperability, where you can bring your identity in different contexts through, full 3D world with different styles. Some metaverses are made with voxel, like Sandbox, others are more realist, others are more stylized, and you want to have a version of your avatar that can match those designs and that you can easily bring to those worlds. But it also goes beyond your computer, right? If you are in the street, you want to walk and show off your identity. If you go to a festival, if you want to go to maybe, there is NFT Paris, for example, going on right now. I would love to go on stage and everybody seeing me with my avatar, right? How would this be possible? Probably through AR glasses. And so I think we are going to need some sort of a full set of tools and gear or software that will allow us to create content no matter where you are.
This is actually a very good point, and I don't think we ever thought about it with today, because we're fully into virtual stuff. But this is actually a very good point. Maybe I want to touch a bit more on, if we go a bit back, the creator economy is absolutely huge. It's expanding. It's crazy in the world we live in today. I'm pretty sure you know what KSI and Logan Paul did with the brand Prime. So we can really see that creator economy is here to stay, and that creators are making huge brands out of it. So maybe your point, how do you see creator economy? Maybe just like the normal creator economy, and then where the virtual one is going.
Yeah, I think there is, right now we are probably in a period where basically there is a blueprint that was created by the influencers over the past decade on what could be done with your virtual identity or the virtual economy. And we can see it through, 3D clothes, right? There is already, through influencers, all those videos that are popping up with either people who are dancing, who are trying clothes, trying different products. And this can be translated through 3D as well, right? And so I see a similar path, but that can only be enhanced, because through 3D, it means that you can do stuff that can be done in real life, meaning having clothes that maybe have some crazy animations, flowers popping up of dresses, or, literally a jetpack that make you fly. Or I am not, for example, a professional dancer, but I could generate with AI hundreds of videos of me dancing like if I was a professional, right? And so typically what it's going to allow us is, with all those tools, is to create 1,000 times more content than any influencer, and also actually bring us, or spread out the content and allowing multiple people to work with your virtual identity. And you could also end up the same way that you have some influencers who end up in some movies. You could have virtual influencers who are going to end up in Disney, Pixar movies. I mean, that's like the end game. Or even actually a superhero, to not make a joke with the Avengers, but why not, right? So I think there is like this logical path to test things that already exist with influencers, but it can definitely be only enhanced. Everybody can become like some sort of a superhero on his own, and everything is actually on the same structure, I would say. You build an audience. The audience want to learn about you, want to be part of your community, get closer, and that's, there's different ways to monetize that.
But how do you feel? Because you were saying the vision here is that these things become immensely accessible, right? And with people that are working in, if you have people that can make AR lenses now on the fly, I don't know, you look through the studio lens, you look through the TikTok house effect, you look through the Spark AR, basically it's almost the same. I think the lens is actually way more advanced, but the other ones are basically just a copycat of each other, meaning it's super accessible. Everything is laid out for people to create these and become, like, each one of them have the ability to become a virtual influencer, but there is not an incredible influx of people going into this. Why do you think it's that?
yeah, I think first we are probably still pretty early. What seems to be the most used right now on social media, it's more filters that improve, I guess, your face, or fake makeup, or make your skin better, which kind of actually hide the augmented reality aspect. But this is augmented reality, right? I think there is it's basically first a lot of people want to create content around their own identity, and now I think there is a new generation who's going to come that is more willing probably to jump into the virtual identity because they grew up with games like Fortnite where they are used to buy skins, and they want to be able to probably continue to leverage their identity within games and bring it outside. This is probably one vertical. But the other aspect, which is kind of the reality of today, is that the live augmented reality, the quality is still not like the best of the best. It's not like watching a AAA movie game. And so there is, the tracking is not awesome, or when you go to the streets, it's not everybody who have VR glasses. So there is this limitation, and also I think the fact that there is not much awareness yet around avatars, or even if, yes, Meta is pushing with the Oculus, but the avatar are not, they're more like a comic, super stylized avatar. And ideally, we want some things that stylized but as realist as possible to be able to share more the emotions of your face. I think that's something important, and not feel too creepy. And there is a lot of avatars right now that are on the creepy side.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, maybe for the viewers watching, Traveler, if you had to start over, where would you start? So, you took the path of going with the NFT. You created your CloneX. But what we've seen on the internet that is working the most is the anime VTubers. I think this is like the biggest industry. There's the most amount of anime VTubers out there. Would you go with, jumping on a NFT project and creating your personality around it? Would you go ahead and create an anime version of yourself? Would you go and do a photorealistic version of yourself, or just like a Ready Player Me character? For someone just starting out, let's say with zero budget, how would you go about it?
Yeah, I think even before figuring out which software, it's like figuring out what type of content you want to create, because it might impact the styles that you are more interested, right? Are you going to do, purely live streaming on Twitch? What type of gear already do you have, right? Do you already have a camera, or are you just having like a laptop? Do you have a powerful PC? This might impact how you can start. But let's assume I just only have laptop and a webcam and want to test things. I wouldn't go the NFT route because of the budget, right? This is quite expensive. So I will probably go in, some sort of 2D software that already exists. There is Live 3D, VTube Studio, VRoid, Animaze. I know those guys are making their own. They can help you to create your filters. There is some software leveraging Ready Player Me avatar. So you can pick, a few options based on the styles that you are interested. But the ones that they lack maybe a little bit of emotions, but in a way with their styles, they kind of work that all those Japanese styles. So if you are, if you are interested by this style, basically in 5 minutes, you can have everything set up already and start to make content. I think the art part is not so much about setting up your avatar, but figuring out what content do you want to talk about, and having a personality that people are going to be interested about. I'm not saying people are interested by my personality specifically, but after creating few videos, you realize that you have to keep going to and it's not easy to post every day, I would say.
Yeah, this is a very good point, and I think this is the same thing that we figured out with today, because we just recently partnered with a few Twitch streamers. We're creating them a VTuber custom made, and yeah, like when we were trying and searching for these VTubers for normal Twitch streamers, the biggest part for us was as well like personality, because okay, we can change the whole look. She can look whatever she wants to, but if she has a bad personality, nobody's gonna watch her. So this is a very good point.
Yeah,
Maybe
we were also, you know, the thing is, we were also managing in the sense of, like, we also were trying to manage and create our own respective personas, working from anything from Vroid to Unreal. But the thing is, exactly like Traveler said, you know, his PFP, his character goes with the direction that he is also aligned with, then it makes sense. It wouldn't make sense for us to create models that look a specific way and then, you know, do something or create content that is just not contingent with what we do. Meaning, I don't know, creating a this is like from personal experience. We tried to make, for example, a super realistic character and then stream on Omegle. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know, if it was a super realistic character and, I don't know, we were doing something that we truly enjoy, I don't know, FPS, Modern Warfare, whatever, it would probably translate way better. This was just like a kind of a interjection about the stuff that we were kind of testing, and it is a really, really, really good point that Traveler exposed, meaning that the style is going to be influenced by the direction that you want to take, and personality is as well super difficult to find, because just laying there, just doing nothing, and have, like, you can have the best possible avatar character in the world, but it's not gonna help you. It's like AI, you know, you can, like,
Yeah, it's missing it's missing, you know, that's why I actually like almost more sometimes using Lens Studio with my body, right? I when I make my video, I am stand up because I can move my body. You feel it's more fluid, it's a bit more human, even so I have this cyborg face, right? But it feels a bit more, there is this notion of proximity, and again, it's more to share the emotion and the energy. And you see actually also on Twitter or, you know, online, all those crazy engineers who have those super crazy gear and super realistic systems that they try, but when they try it, because they are not used to you know, make videos, you feel that it's great, but it could be much more amazing if you would have like a professional speaker or a real actor using it. And so that's a tricky one, but you have to start no matter what, and you can only improve along the way. And on my side, even, there is like so much stuff I have to improve on. But you can't improve if you don't start to put content out there.
What is like a thing that, for example, that is like the biggest, because you said you want to improve some things, like, what is something that would be a priority for you right now?
Pronunciation of English, maybe?
Sorry?
Pronunciation of English.
Oh. Don't worry about it, dude. Come on. We get
it gives you a unique personality.
No, yeah, I don't mind too much, but you know, sometimes you want to say things as fluidly as possible. I mean, stuff that I want to improve. There is definitely, you know, my character. How can I feel a bit less creepy? That's a bit more on the tech side, but you want to almost exaggerate the movement of your mouth and the movement of your eyes. Similar to when you are watching a Pixar or Disney movie, all the movements are a bit expanded, right? It works much better than if I speak normally. Basically, my mouth is not moving enough. So I guess it's either as the person you are exaggerating your movement, or maybe the smartest way to do it is within your settings. When you create a lens, you can force the movement a little bit, so it's gonna be easier to share the emotions. That's actually an interesting one to
exaggerating basically the shapes of so you can like put it into overdrive, right?
Exactly. While you don't want to you don't want people to see that it's exaggerated. You don't want to make it feel it's obvious, but just having the right balance, basically, between not too much and not enough.
Yeah, that's a definite challenge. Like trying to get into that, because this is also like I don't know, for anyone that's gonna be listening that it's like in animation and stuff. This is also stuff that it's like super important when you're like animating, and like this is why, you know, Pixar and people who actually also do. For the longest time, I didn't know that this was happening to people that do mocap. It was like they really needed to exaggerate their movements, and they really needed to really push it in order to get like a good result, like a good read, because otherwise these are just subtleties that gloss over. And it also kind of makes sense when you think about it, because it's like you have an anime character. Why would it move like a human, right? Why would it move like a normal person? So it kind of makes sense that would work. But
it's like the movement of any character in video games, right? When you select a character, they're almost not jumping, but you see they breathe way more than a normal human, right? So but it makes feel it's even more real.
Exactly. But have you tried? So, for example, lens and this sort of stuff. Have you tried anything else for your avatar and for the movements and for content creation?
Yeah, I have a few stuff that actually, few stuff. Let's say I might have like soon my version of my avatar within Unreal, but it implies, having a more bigger equipment, right? Powerful computer and so on. But I might have I have something basically coming up, so I'm gonna try that. But outside Lens Studio, there is also a Spark AR filter that I need to make. I didn't work on this one. But I also have my clone with Filter app. So shout out to Mexicano, who is an AR filter designer who helped me put this together. And Filter is basically an NFT AR app that allow you to basically create filters that you can sell as NFTs. And it's based on Unity. So basically your lens can have even higher qualities than the one on Lens Studio, because the Lens Studio, your lenses are limited to 8 megabytes. And Unity, you can go up to 100, so the texture are much better.
Yeah, you can load up way better textures. And also probably, all ORM is right, mostly with the snap lens, like in terms of textures. So in Unity, you could probably just go like full on high definition, high quality, just like really knock it out of the park, right?
Yeah, so it's not me who made the lens, so I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly.
It's Mexicano, no? You said Mexicano.
Yeah.
We gotta remember to shout out the dude, put a handle or something. But
he managed, and also obviously he played with the textures that were provided. I saw some clones who reworked on their texture to have better skin or better hair, and that's maybe something I will take a look. Actually, I think you mentioned something when we talked about which software do you want to use, what style do you want. The way I see it as well is that, of course, as your avatar, you should have some pieces that are recognizable, right? So, okay, my voice, I have this accent, but my avatar, for example, has red headphones and a cyborg eye, right? For example, has red headphones and a cyborg eye, right? But if I want, I have also a voxel version of it. You can recognize it, even so it's like all those pixelized version. I want to have maybe an anime version in 2D, and you are going to recognize it because I have those specific traits, right? And I am also working on a more realistic version. And just to say that there is a way where you can start with one specific style to see if it works, and you can expand the style of your avatar by keeping the same traits. And I really see it as like some sort of multiverse, like in Spider-Man, the movie. You have multiple versions of Spider-Man, right? Super realistic, stylized, and so on. I think it's going to be the same thing for virtual influencer based on the type of content you are creating, and again, the context in which you want to bring your avatar.
That is then on the holder, right? That is then the holder thing. So basically, it's you, let's say CloneX created this, but then any type of propagation of style is on the user, right?
Yeah, exactly. Except if there is an NFT project who want to provide multiple styles, that's actually a cool idea, but I'm not sure what's the amount of people who would be interested yet. I will be one of them for sure.
Yeah, but also it would be, technically speaking, pretty problematic. But I think we actually we probably went a bit too much into some technical speak.
Yeah.
So we gotta reel it back a bit, so that we don't lose half of the viewership, because it's like, these guys are just gonna geek out about about programs and stuff. So yeah.
Maybe I really want to touch on this, especially as it's a huge hot topic right now. What do you think about AI? So, there's a couple of influential people in the space, such as Squabblecop. He's trying to create a fully automated YouTube channel with Blue. And you have, I think I've seen two VTubers, from VS Hojo. So yeah, what do you think about AI and VTubers? Maybe, personality, if it's ever going to be able to kind of have a good personality, trainable personality, or it's just going to be soulless. Or maybe it's going to speed up the process of everything.
So you mean AI to help virtual creators, or AI as a virtual creator?
AI
Basically,
is a virtual.
yeah, as a virtual, like basically what Blue does, it's like a fully automated VTuber, essentially. So they trained his personality, they trained his like mounting movement, and it's kind of acting on its own. And this is something that we're also trying with Twitch. It's like, it's going to be a very light version, but essentially a VTuber is going to be responding to the Twitch chat. We're going to be connecting Twitch API with ChatGPT, essentially. But yeah, what's your take on fully automated YouTube channels and Twitch streams?
Yes, that's I mean, that's interesting. There is a few experimentations there, right? We are still super early, so obviously you can see that, as we talked about, it's lacking of emotions, right? It feels a bit robotic, and the way they speak or even they move. But this is gonna improve, I think, at a level where you are not gonna know it's an AI, except if they clearly say it's an AI. But I'm sure someone at some point is going to have a version that's super realistic and not mention it's an AI.
Yeah.
And everybody is going to be fooled until they say, hey, it's an AI. And people are going to realize, okay, yeah, that's actually quite entertaining. So I think we're going to get to a place where it's going to be hard to perceive who is an AI or not. Not quite there yet, but it's going to go super fast. Right now, again, we can tell, right? It's not a real human, but I think that's actually quite fascinating. But yeah, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I was just watching. I was on the point of like realizing when it's when it's a character and not. While we were debating, I just opened up the Blue YouTube. It sits at 635,000 subscribers. And the comments is just like, you have a bunch of people who seem to be on the younger side, that it's like, I love your videos. Hey Blue, how do you make this in GTA or whatever? But then you see some people being like, why is the AI voice different? He actually looks like a real human, but he doesn't act like one. It's super interesting to see how some people pick up on it and some people don't. And it's just a very interesting phenomena.
You talk about Blue. You talk about an AI VTuber, or you talk about Blue Xanadu?
Blue, as in, like, he is a fully AI'd creator.
I mean, he's a real human within his avatar. So that's not.
It's avatar, but then they kind of, at least, where was it? It was somewhere on Twitter that they replicate some of the videos.
Oh, okay.
So what they try to do is, like, they try to do content farming, right? So what they do is they will have one person, but then it's trying to propagate multiple channels and multiple personalities, and it's just funny to hear, like, how some people pick up on that. Just interesting.
Yeah, happy to check the channel, because I didn't see that. But typically Xanadu Blue is probably the most advanced in the game. It's quite insane what he managed to do, and he's on the like super realistic side. I mean, he finds the right balance to don't be too creepy, good personality, crazy editing. This is typically where I guess everyone should try to go, but this required like an insanely huge amount of technical knowledges.
Yeah. Not as in Xanadu, Blue.
Yeah.
Like I know the guy. It's and exactly like you said. There are so many things. Like there's a team of people behind that person for sure. And if it's a one person, then hats off to him, her, whoever it is, because the quality of what they do is, I mean, out of this world.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
And I've listened to a couple podcast like 2 days ago. I think their team, their video, but it's not just Blue channel. They already have like 8 employees working virtually for so it's pretty crazy. Where they're going. But yeah, I really like Qualcomm. I think it's sharing a lot of great stuff. It's kind of building public. So yeah, I'm a fan, I have to say.
Get some links if you can send them over. I'm interested to check them out.
Of course.
I'm gonna pick you up. Like just just so we're clear, there is a discrepancy in age as well. For example, when I see the channel and when I see what they're doing, it's impressive in a technical manner of speaking, but it's worrying on another one because it's content farming on a whole new level.
Yeah.
This is just like, trying to play a bit devil's advocate, right? Not trying to keep it as an echo chamber. I popped you the link in the Discord, by the way.
Thanks.
Perfect.
So you can check. So you'll see immediately what I mean. But yeah.
And it's also amazing that these channels are actually like profitable. Quabocop was saying that Blue in the first year made $1 million just off of ad revenue, as I remember correctly, and probably some merch sales as well. But yeah, like this is a profitable channel. So it's pretty crazy to see.
All right. Okay, I see.
You see the channel, you see what I mean, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to study this.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive what they're able to do. And when you go on Social Blade and check out the numbers, like even though I think it was Penguenzo, like Charlie.
I think what they seems to manage to have done well is the personality. It seems a lot of energy, the editing pace as well. That's Mr. Beast style, lot of popping colors. I mean, video games, everything that all the kids love to watch.
Yeah, because it's not falling. Like you check out Social Blade, it's insane. Video views, it's 1 million, 500,000.
It's almost like a comic character. It's interesting.
Yeah. Unless they're bought it. I'm sorry, Tim, if I interrupted you.
Yeah, all good.
Unless they're bought it, then if they're bought it, then that's a different question. But
I think there was a very cool take from as well Quabocop. Basically what he said was that the next Mr. Beast is going to be virtual, and honestly I couldn't agree more. Especially in the age we live today and where we are kind of moving towards in virtual worlds, virtual personalities. I think this could be the case, so that the next Mr. Beast 100 million channel could be virtual.
Yeah, because Mr. Beast can't replicate himself, and you can have, as you said, have 80 people pretending to be just one person or working on the same character, right?
Yeah.
Or even if there is even live video with like AR, it could be 10 different people who are actually mimicking the same personality. So you can just extrapolate the amount of content you can create, and over time you can only beat normal humans.
Yeah, exactly. And especially with the help of AI, this is going to get crazy in the next 5-10 years. But okay, let's think about it this way. So there is a realistic chance that could happen, because a normal objection for people would be, yeah, but who the fuck would want to watch a robot, right? But then when you say, I think Traveler said it before, that it's like all of these kids and children and people that grew up with Fortnite and grew up with this, also now in this AI wave, they will basically crave that. It's not that they're gonna be used to it, they are gonna want that type of thing. So what do you think this is gonna entail? What do you think is gonna happen? Because if this is the case, like, what's gonna happen with the people that watch this, and what's gonna happen with the people who don't, with the, let's say, traditional content creators and just creators at large?
This one is I guess this one is
it's a large question, I know, but it's just super interesting to think about it, because it is coming, and it's coming in the probably next 5 to 10 years maybe.
Plus, it's kind of already here.
The only thing that might sound like a dystopia, but I don't think there is much that's gonna change between the interest on both, except that the type of content can be much more extrapolated, right? And even much more crazier, because you can have those VTubers that are, oh, let's go to space today, or let's go 500 meters of sea, and no human can do that, right? Or let's go in this Pixar movie, or let's go on this TV channel, or let's do a concert with like Paper's Ghost technique, which allow you to have 2,000 people seeing you, even if you don't exist. So it's just that they are gonna eat internet, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And even if I look like from my side, I think I'm the youngest from here. When I look at this stuff, like this is just a more immersive way to kind of meet your kind of celebrities. But you know, when I was younger, I was watching, you know, cartoons. I was playing video games. This is just, you know, I can literally watch my favorite YouTuber instead of on a TV screen. I can watch it on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitch, etc. So I think this is just more immersive, and the new wave of content consummation.
Yep, I agree.
I think
like the Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix. I was also thinking about it, because then what happens because if an algorithm is constantly it's constantly searching for the most optimized version of some type of content, and AI gets into that and it learns the type of content, what is going to happen in that loop? You know, it's like a supercharged feedback loop, essentially.
Yeah.
You've got AI, you've got an algorithm that is basically disregarding, you know, it's just like number, being like, okay, I can see that, I don't know, Ice Spice dancing on whatever, it's a popular video, so I'm going to promote those, and all of the AIs pick up on that. And then, like, how do you get out of those loops? I don't know, it's just interesting to think about it.
I think I think even YouTube probably is looking at it right now, because there is a bunch of people who try to do automation of channels, you know, by creating content, generating image on Midjourney, speech to text. But I think YouTube is gonna fight this a little bit until we have really, really good content. But it's almost, I don't know if we're gonna end up in a situation where some channel or every channel is limited by a specific amount of content they can publish, or some AI channel might, you know, publish 10 videos a minute, you know.
Yeah, just go haywire, because it's funny that you said that, because there was like what's the company that did like ChatGPT and DALL-E and these guys?
OpenAI?
OpenAI. So I don't know where I saw it, somewhere on Twitter. I think I saw it somewhere on Twitter, that basically they started to flag and put metadata to understand what pictures are AI and which ones are not, because otherwise the system is just going to go into a feedback loop. And with content farming, it's super interesting that you said it, because actually, like, you have a system that's going to be like, oh yeah, the most optimal time to post is every half an hour, and it's just like posting, creating videos, just pumping out content that it's like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna have their own AI to fight also against this, and, you know, promote specific videos or specific channel, or lock you in.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
that's an interesting idea. Jesus Christ. Like a like a like a like a RoboCop type of AI algorithm that's gonna basically go through AI offenders.
Yeah, I mean, right now you call that, I guess, the algorithm, but the algorithm is, I'm sure you can almost call that an artificial intelligence.
Yeah, yeah, actually,
what do you guys think about to kind of go off the topic of AI? Um, so I'm very fascinated by how creators are monetizing in these days, because 5 years ago there was almost nobody creating their own brands. Everybody was kind of just doing brand deals, getting paid per post. But what we've been seeing in the past few years is creators have been massively monetizing their audience just by creating their own products. And I feel like with virtual influencers, this is going to be even bigger. Just with VTubers and what we've seen on YouTube and on Twitch, creators are making their own brands, and they're making way more money than just doing normal brand deals. And they're literally competing with these huge brands. So how do you guys see this kind of wave going of creator economy brands?
I think it's definitely going to continue to mimic what exists with the existing influencer world. They test product, so you can have affiliate links of NFTs maybe. Or we know as well that, or typically me, I try to be really careful. I receive a bunch of people asking me to promote their even if I don't have like a crazy reach. Few people who are willing to pay me to promote their stuff, but it breeds a scam, and you don't want to promote that, and you have to be super careful, obviously, right now in the space. But on a high level, I think this is gonna continue to happen. And if it's not NFTs, it's like promote my shop in this metaverse the day we start to have people really hanging out there. Similar to basically any audience that influencer created, you are gonna have similar, I think, opportunities. But from the creator standpoint, people are creating. I mean, me, I create educational content, so I will be interested to maybe create courses on how to, learn how to create content with your virtual avatar, which tool you should use, stuff like that, right? You could monetize this. You could create your own product, right? If I start to wear my own AR clothes, right? As much as I, worked with Cultivate on the helmet that I was wearing as well, right? So definitely a lot of learning there. The maybe big difference is that the audience in the NFT space is not just some random people following you, and I'm not saying that that's the only case with influencer, but there is way more connection, and we talk about the community, and you have to always be as close as possible to them. But that's definitely true. We have been seeing that, and having more maybe collaboration with your community is going to be also a key element, because you don't want to feel some sort of customer, right? You want to feel to be part of something much bigger. I mean, that's the type of stuff that will definitely interest me as a creator. But the timing needs to be right as well, right? It's when you start to reach a certain size that it can make sense. But what I have been seeing, just to continue on this, is that by creating content, then I have more connection with other creators or engineers or developers, and we are testing things together. Which tool do you need to create those renderings or those cool videos? So I'm looking forward to see if there is some sort of code creation tools out there within the virtual identity world, which actually brings me to a collaboration that just happened 3 weeks ago with few projects led by Vault to work on interoperability and allowing basically any avatar to be brought from one metaverse to another, because that's kind of the goal, but we are not quite there yet. And they worked on like a encrypted 3D link that allow you to just copy paste a link from one metaverse to another, and your avatar is going to be there. And it's not currently, possible. So if I diverge a little, but there is quite a few things basically that can happen.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd say you probably have gained a lot of benefit from starting your own channel, right? From Travel Meta.
I mean, I don't know what means quite few benefits, a lot of learnings, I will say. I'm continuing to create content. I know that I need to iterate. Typically, yeah, Twitter, it's definitely hard to grow, but the people that are there are like in the niche and super specialized. So this is really, really quality. My Instagram, okay, I have decent amount. It's not crazy as well, like 3,000. So definitely need to grow this. But YouTube, for example, didn't pick up yet, so need to test. But I guess on the benefit side is that no matter the size, every day I receive people who want to know how it works, who want to start their virtual identity. People saying that they don't want to show their face or they're too shy. And it definitely shows that there is interest and some sort of needs of tools or bringing awareness of what's possible.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, this is the same thing that we've seen as well. I think the biggest thing with the kind of feedback we got was that people don't want to get in front of camera. They don't want to do makeup every day. They don't want to look the best for people every day. They just kind of want to be in their pajamas and record content. But it's amazing that you've gotten, some sort of benefits from connections to building some sort of a community, which is super important in this day and age.
But also, also don't forget to mention, like it's creating educational content that it's helping people implement things that are, either in the NFT space or other spaces. Like this is a lot of benefit in the sense of you are strengthening a community, and you don't need to have 1 million followers, 100,000 followers. It's as long as you help out people to understand how these things work, and then they can branch out their own way, it's actually giving you a way larger platform than you would necessarily expect, right?
Yeah, and I think we're in an interesting time right now because there is a lot of insanely amazing people who are building crazy stuff that are actually reachable because we are kind of early, right? But you can see, who are the visionary on Twitter, and you can just DM them, they are going to answer. But you know that at some point in the next months, years, it's going to be impossible to reach out to those guys. But right now, you can basically create your crew of amazing people and learn from those guys.
And exactly like you said, you're absolutely right in saying, okay, after a while, these people grow and it becomes way more difficult to reach, which is absolutely normal. But again, you have a new influx of people that, are willing to help and are willing to share knowledge until the cycle repeats. And as long as it repeats, it's perfect. You're just making the platform bigger, making the community bigger, expanding all of the knowledge that is within the community. So it both gives a platform for content creators and a platform for people who are interested in developing solutions for content creators. Okay.
Yep.
I think we have 10 more minutes 10 more minutes on the docket. So if there's anything in particular that Traveler you would like to, talk about, discuss about, I think now would be a great time.
Yeah, maybe I really wanted to know, it's two very short questions. Builders you look up in the space and VTubers you look up in the space. Or who are kind of the people right now you really look up in the space, from builders and VTubers?
Yeah, well, with VTubers definitely on the top of the list, it's Xanadu Blue for sure. But you have amazing creator even within the Clonix community. I'm thinking about Ima, for example. She's creating different type of content from 3D to super realistic integration of her 3D face within wherever actually she goes. I'm thinking about Sakura Rabbit on Twitter. She's creating like insanely high quality avatars on Unreal. I think those are the main ones that come to my mind right now. There is actually also, Codmiko, obviously, for the live streaming. AI Angel as well. I discovered her actually quite recently. If you don't know her, check her out. Similar to Codmico in the technical way, but different type of content. Super cool. So basically, people who are using, the best of the best mocap suit, XN suit, and leveraging Unreal or Unity, because that's kind of the dream, is how we could get this quality with even lower equipment. And for builders, there is I'm just trying to think, even within the Clonix community, people who are creating tools. I'm thinking about Min from Savant, based in Korea, who is building a tool that allow you to create rendering of your avatar with a library of content. I have to shout out to Cultivate as well, who is building also, collaborations between clones on customizing the helmet. Also Clone Force, I guess, with Yobs, creating an amazing community there. Vaults for the interoperability and allowing any avatars basically to go from one metaverse to another. I'm sure there is a bunch of others. I will need to scroll through my Twitter because that's where all the good people are.
Sorry, Timmy, if I interrupted. I just checked the Sakura Rabbit and it looks freaking amazing. It really does.
And I never saw anything that crazy. Even the CEO of Unity mentioned her. Because she did like a breathing, you can just look at the belly of an avatar. There is a sweat, there is a breathing. It looks insanely real, and this is like running live. It's nuts.
Could you send the link here today?
I've got it on Twitter. I'm gonna forward you. I'm gonna forward you so you can check it out. It's really, really nicely done. There's a lot of detail that went into the technical development of it.
Teflon Sega also is a good one on the music side. And on the Clonix side, we have Vega Genesis, the rapper of the Metaverse. Alt Anonymous, he's testing also everything you can do with your avatar. So check out Alt Anonymous. I can send you those links if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure. If we're always interested because you can very easily get caught in like a echo chamber of your own, and it makes sense to explore things, see what other creators are up to, what are people doing in the space, because you never know when you get really interesting answers, because it's exactly like Traveler said before. It's a space that it's being more discovered in the past years, but there are still so many things to figure out and to make and to, create. So it's always great to see as many examples as possible.
Yeah, I think there is also some need of convergence between few worlds. There is the world of virtual creator, but there is also the world of people who come from the gaming side. They seems to not be a huge fan of the NFT space, but they have such incredible knowledges to brought to life virtual influencers that it's a bit something that I am looking forward to see how there is more connections that could be created. I'm thinking about people who create amazing environment on Unreal, or ways to bring your avatars to life. There is quite a few people I follow, and I hope we are gonna see some cool collaborations there.
In time, probably, for sure, because
actually there is also one. What's the name of this studio? CBLRS. Maybe I'm not pronouncing well. CBLRS Studios. Basically, those guys are creating the best AR filter so far I saw for all the Bored Ape, and they are doing what we mentioned about the extension of the mouth and of the eyes. Their Bored Ape are in 3D, made in Unity, really, really high quality, and they're creating a dedicated AR lens and a virtual camera for Bored Ape holders. I wish I had a Bored Ape just to use it. You should check them out. They are doing really, really cool stuff.
CBLRS, right?
CBLRS. What's the underscore studios? on Twitter.
Great.
Nice. Gotta check it because yeah, like this is now then the tipping point where these things start to move forward, right? This is then the tipping point where it's like, okay, it's not just a JPEG, a picture, whatever. It's just now it's when it's finally getting a bit more interactive. It's finally, you know, having this live interaction, this live thing happening.
Yep.
And the quality is super good.
Yeah. No, they definitely did a good job.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah, that's an hour. Like it was amazing to talk. If there's any other like questions and stuff like that.
No, yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate a lot the conversation. Nice to see that there is interest in talking about those topics. Something that I am always looking to talk and spread knowledges and learn from. So happy to continue another time as well. And what else? Well, Traveler, Meta, and all social media platform for the ones who are interested to check it out. And if there is one thing that I am really looking forward is how we can collectively reduce the friction of creating this content and putting those avatars on our face. But I think we are going to get there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, likewise, thank you so much for coming on with us, Traveler. Really appreciate that. Like you said, Traveler Meta on all social media. Check it out. Like, it's lovely to have people with such a level-headed view of things. You're probably one of the very rare people that we've talked to that doesn't have his head not in the clouds but in outer space. It's like very down to earth. Very, concrete thinking. So that's absolutely beautiful to see here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. It was really a pleasure. I think we had an amazing conversation. We're gonna be putting this on YouTube and probably on TikTok as well to kind of create a few short form content. But yeah, thanks for coming on, and I hope we'll speak soon.
All good. See you.
Amazing.
See you. Ciao, ciao.
Have a good one.